You want to talk about going from 0 to 100? It has got to be Jinwoo in solo leveling. From being the weakest to the strongest and getting no play to getting ladies wanting them oh so badly. If you want to pick a fight with anyone, I would recommend anyone but him. And also Guts. I'm going to explain why no one should mess with Sung Jinwoo, but in order for us to do that, we gotta understand the story. The best place for us to start is when Jinwoo wakes up from the hospital after beating the extra side quest story and realizes that he survived. But something has been offered to Jinwoo, a deal that he has to do daily goals or he will get banished to the Shadow Realm.
Pegasus may have helped you escape the Shadow Realm once before, but it won't happen again. Never again!
Okay, not really, but basically he would go to a really hard quest or boss and basically die given to what state and level that he's at currently. Now at this point you're like, dude, that is not exactly to the details of what happened in those chapters. And I'm like, dude, you get that this is me summarizing it. I want to get to the point where I'm telling you what I need to tell you. The system reminds him with a centipede monster that is chasing him and tells him you have 4 hours to do your goals, which are push-ups, squats, sit-ups, and runs. Now keep in mind, this dude is very weak, so those goals are very outlandish for him. But he's got to start somewhere. You know, it's kind of like a doctor prescribing you medicine so that you can get better, or prescribing you, basically telling you what you really ought to do in order to get better. And you know how most people are. They ignore it. And so he does it and he sees some major gains. When I'm talking about major gains, I mean, the man is taller, he has a body like Superman, and he is way stronger than he was before. He has changed so much, the nurse that was taking care of him saw him and she got this feeling of, damn you fine. Can I get your number? Okay, she didn't really say it like that, but you know, you get the gist. She was like jocking on him, like she wanted the business. And you know how players do it. He acted oblivious to it and said, yeah, will I need to do anything else so I can recover? And she was just thinking, I want to touch your body. So at this point, you're thinking, what is making him so special that he has just, you know, experiencing all these different things? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is because he has reawakened. But if it isn't clear that he's experiencing his reawakening, which is causing him to evolve, being stronger and faster, okay, and he's doing his daily goals and still being under the radar for good reasons, because he doesn't want the whole world knowing, oh, now Jinwoo, you know, is strong and reawakened and, you know, everybody should, you know, try to kill him. How ironic, trying to fly under the radar so that people don't kill you, yet you still experience, you know what, never mind. So now Jinwoo is reawakened and it's clear. And it seems that people that used to know him don't even recognize him. I mean, his own sister doesn't even recognize him, which that should tell you something. Oh yeah, and you remember that healer girl? She wanted him too. Because he's taller, he's more muscular, and he's actually a man, not a little boy. Did I mention that women are coming to him in abundance? And he has also had some really trying experiences that have really killed a portion of his soul off. One thing that hasn't been answered yet for me is, did he really get enough money to pay his mom's medical bills and put his sister through college? Now that we have basically the gist of the story covered, here are the reasons why you do not want to mess with Sung Jinwoo. 1. He would not hesitate to kill you. If you put him or the people that he is with in danger, he will take your lights out. Now that might sound harsh, but you have to remember, Jinwoo used to be weak and looked down on by other people and made fun of. And it's not like he was just born to kill humans. He never was doing that. But his own life was at stake. It was either they kill him or he kills them. In dungeons, it's the survival of the fittest. With all of his experience from the secret quest, everyone leaving him to die, to the quest where he was, you know, with a group of people to go mine gems supposedly, but come to find out they were just going to be used as decoys so that they could get killed by the main boss. And then on top of that, if they survived, they were just going to kill them. And also take Yojin Ho's equipment, because I mean, he comes from a wealthy family. And when Jinwoo had killed the first guy, the other guy was like, what just happened? And at that moment, they knew they up. So you know what he had to do. He had to kill him. Not only that, a government official, top government official from a government agency wanted to kill them. I mean, to the point where he brought jailbirds that used to be hunters with him to use them as decoys just so that he could feed into his need to kill people. Because that's what brings that dude joy. Like, wow, what a weirdo. And the survivors of the secret quest. But luckily Jinwoo was there and he has leveled up enough to the point where he could stop the dude. I mean, he had to, otherwise everyone would die. So if that isn't clear to you that he has had some trying experiences, there's no reason why he wouldn't kill you on the spot like that. Next is he has a dark shadow within himself that's feeding into his psyche, meaning he's losing his soul to the darkness of his mind. And guess what? He is feeding into that darkness with hatred towards Mr. Sung, the coward that left him for dead. Now, Mr. Sung, no, he's in the wrong for that. I mean, like, you gonna leave this dude? He had one leg. I mean, he came into this quest with 2 legs, and at the end of it, had 1. And everybody left, along with the other people that did as well. But mainly him, because he was dogging Jinwoo and said that he was shocked that he was able to help the group survive. Did I mention that he went crying like a little, you know what, never mind. And he never thought he would even make it, actually. So basically, you know, he was just dogging him. And guess what? After he survived by leaving Jinwoo, he did not have the balls to come and find Jinwoo and apologize for what he did until he was about to die. Keep in mind, no one did until their lives were put on the line. So Mr. Sung is not all that different. Did I mention that his will and desire to be the strongest hunter also feeds into his dark shadow? Now, if that's not a deadly combo, I cannot tell you what is. We already see what it does for another character like Guts in the series Berserk. Excuse me, is this gonna get an anime made? I mean, it sounds really, really good. Last is Jinwoo has mental issues internally that he needs to address eventually. Like, this dude is crazy, but you gotta think about it. Most people are generally crazy. For example, he's not the type of person that you want to double cross, as I mentioned in reason number 1, because his skill is like a ninja. He will disappear and then appear in the shadows and look man, I will cut you. Let me remind you, don't be playing no games, don't be revealing the world I've reawakened, and we have no problems, like you see in this scene right here. Which I get it, and it's understandable. He wants to keep his identity at a low profile, like Superman, even though people are going to put 2 and 2 together eventually and say, wait, he's supposed to be a E rank hunter and this other person's the D rank hunter. Something's not right here. So eventually people are going to figure this out. And, you know, people are used to knowing Jinwoo as the world's weakest. And like I mentioned in the second reason, that's what drives him to be the strongest, which messes with his mind at times during the story. And they said he was the weakest. I was included. But did I mention that each time he puts his life in a death situation and has to kill a person, he loses a piece of his soul? Ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a psychopath in the making. But honestly, can you blame him? He's had a rough past. And on top of that, people have abandoned him, backstabbed him, tried to kill him. So is he wrong for trying to become this strong being so that he can protect himself, you know, take care of his family, and then on top of that, fend off people who want to kill him? No. And that is why you don't mess with the Jinwoo. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree. We could talk about this in the comments below. If you're looking for some of the most amazing content, Mastermind Comics in the building can get you what you need. Be sure to like, subscribe for more content from us. Also, watch why Casca has a dark past. You know you want to.